Hello, my name is Brent Barclay from Acumen Learning. I want to spend just a moment and walk you through the basics of a 10K. A 10K is a financial report that publicly traded companies are required to submit to the Security Exchange Commission on an annual basis. This document is a great resource to understand kind of how the company's performing, what's going on in the business, look at their key metrics and measures, look at the risk that they're focused on to truly understand what's going on in the business. Now, to access this statement, I want to walk you through some simple steps to do that. The easiest way to do that, as I go to share my screen, is you're going to go ahead and just open a web browser. A nice, whatever web browser you like to look at. I'm looking at Chrome here. And all I'm going to do is type in the company I want to look at. I'm going to look at Costco. I love Costco, big fan of them. So let's look at Costco. And you notice it's already kind of pulling up. Costco 10K, go ahead and click on that. And it's going to take me to the website. And there's going to be all sorts of places I can find this 10K. Now, I like to go to the actual company itself. And you'll notice this first one right here. It's investors at Costco. So I click there, I can find it. Before I do that, you can go to the SEC website where you can access 10Ks. You're going to look at third-party companies like Motley Fool or Seeking Alpha who can give you access to that. So I go ahead and click on that. It's going to take me right in here, and I've got all the SEC filings for Costco. Now, the easiest way to access a 10K is just look for the annual filings. The 10K is the annual filing. Now, the 10K refers to specifically the form that every company has to fill out. There's actually 15 items these companies have to fill out. So that's what the 10K is referring to. Now, don't get confused because there's another one. You can actually see it on the screen. See right here where it says 10Q? That's the quarterly version of a report. They walk through each quarter and provide similar information as you get as the 10K. So I look at the 10K or the 10Q is what I'm looking for. I click on what type of filing I'm looking for. I want the annual filing, and immediately I've got access to it. So right here is their most recent 10K. I'm looking at Costco. I like the PDF version, so I'll just pull that right up. And I'm right in there. Here we go. Here's the 10K. So as you look at this document, a couple things I want to highlight. First of all, there's 15 items every company. Now you'll notice here, there's actually 16 in Costco. These first 15 items you're going to see in every company. So you have stuff around their business, risk factors, unresolved staff comments, properties, legal proceedings, all sorts of different items you can kind of look at. So there's a lot of information. If you look at this document here, you got about 75 to 80 pages of information. That's actually a relatively reasonably sized one. I've seen them as big as 800 pages or more. There's a lot of information here. So how do you kind of distill, or where do you want to go to find the information you're looking for? Having done this for many years, and look at, there's only really 3 items I ever look at. The first one I'm going to look at is right here, the business section. So particularly if it's a company I don't know very much about, I always go to the business section. In the business section, this is where the company reviews a little bit of their history, kind of where they came from, a little bit about their history. Then it jumps into a little bit about the business itself. Sometimes they break it up. They look at how they break up their revenue. For example, maybe they do it by geography. Maybe they do it by segmentation of the business, et cetera. You can see here in Costco's, you look at stuff, core merchandise categories right here. We're looking at the food and sundries. You got non-foods, fresh foods, as well as warehouse ancillaries, stuff like gasoline, pharmacy, optical, et cetera. So it's a nice little review of the company itself. If I know the company and I just want to see what's going on in the business, I typically will jump to item 7. Now, this is probably the most important part of a 10K. If all you have is to look at one of the 3, this is the one you're going to want to look at. It's called the management discussion and analysis. You click on that document, and again, it's going to give you a little bit of a review of the company itself. You'll notice right here, a little overview of the company. But eventually you're going to get to a section where it talks about kind of their financial performance, what we call kind of the results or results from operations. Highlights, you'll see here, highlights of 2021. You see kind of what's communicated. Obviously, COVID-19 had a big impact on the business. But eventually you get to this results from operations section that you're looking at the screen here. As you look at this is where you're going to start to look at what's going on in the business. Look at their financial performance, and they explain why the company increased or decreased in revenue. You look here, for example, net sales is up. We're at $192 billion in revenue versus prior year, 2020 was $163 billion. If I want to know why it's gone up right here, you look at that net sales line. It says net sales increased $28.8 billion or 18% during 2021. Well, that's interesting. I can see in the numbers that. But if I really want to understand what's going on, look at the next sentence. The improvement was attributable to an increase in comparable sales of 18% and sales at new warehouse opened in 2020 and 2021. So what are they talking about? They had increased sales because just year over year improvement as we start to go back to the stores, right? But on top of that, you had new stores that they built and you're getting all that new revenue coming in. You can literally go through the whole income statement and find out what changed around membership fees. Why are they going up or going down? Let's look at what are their profitability metrics, gross margin. Why did that go up or down? It shows you the numbers and it explains what it is you want to look at. So as you look at that management discussion analysis is where I get to really see what's behind the numbers, what's really going on in the business. Now, the third item that I would look at. So you got business, gives you the overview. Management discussion analysis, item 7 gives you that the actual performance, what happened, how they improved, kind of what's going on as far as their financial and strategic performance. The last place I'm going to look for sure is item 8. That's where you find the financials themselves. So although in item 7, you see little parts of the financials, they're broken down, gives you a little more detail. You come down into item 8, you're going to actually get their audited financial statements. Here is Costco's fiscal year 2021 financials income statement. Here's their revenue, how much came from net sales, how much came from membership fees, total revenue numbers. Here's all the operating expenses against those revenue numbers, eventually gets to their profitability numbers. Not only that, I can look right here and I can see what's happening from a balance sheet. How financially strong are they? What sort of risk are they taking? Look at their liabilities versus their assets and versus their equity, etc. And of course, the last section that I will look at is their cash flow statement. I want to know if they're growing their cash position and then where are they deploying that cash position. So as you look at the 10K, those are the 3 items that I typically will look at. With that being said, I hope this has been helpful as you look at kind of the 10K experience. It's a great resource for individuals to be able to understand their own company. If you're selling into a customer, to be able to understand that partnership you're trying to create, as well as just an individual investor to see what's going on in the business and be able to make decisions around your investment strategy.